Hello everybody, Devin here again, and today I have an equipment video for you, and this is on the American military's second Kevlar vest, and it's known as the OTV, or Outer Tactical Vest, or IBA in some circles, for Interceptor Body Armor. And what it is a jacket type Kevlar vest. So it has a ton of scalable upgrades though too on it, and some of them are on this one. This one is mine, but I ended up buying it from my cousin. My cousin was in the Marine Corps way back in the 2000s when they still used these, the early 2000s. And so that's where this color comes from him. But all of the Army ones would have been the woodland colored. And there's a lot of SWAT ones that are like black, a lot of police force ones that are black. There's some 3-color desert ones as well. There's some coyote brown one, which are these. Coyote brown was used by the Marine Corps and some Navy, early on Navy personnel you see using this type of body armor too in this color before they started using all the Army ones, which were in woodland and in 3-color desert, depending on what environment you were in. So we're going to go over just the standard vest, how you would get it without all the extra parts like scaled up for warfare. So this vest would have 3 plates in it. It would have a big Kevlar plate in the back and 2 halves on the front. So there'd be one here and one here. And they would be covered up by these... trying to open it here. So... but you can see this Velcro cover here, and these snaps. Sorry for the noise on the Velcro, but come on now, you piece of shit. It's just fighting me a little bit here, so give me a second. All right, so there we go. Now the plates would overlap underneath here, and you'd see these other. It opens up like a jacket, as you can see, and here's one half of the front plate, and the other half of the front plate is in here, and you would overlap it, and the right front plate is way wider, as you can see, than the left front plate, and that's because this little flap right here would be where your ceramic plate would go, or steel. The military experimented with both, but ultimately adopted ceramic. So your ceramic plate would go in the right part of the jacket, and in the left part of the jacket was just to overlap with Kevlar. So that's why the left part goes underneath the right part, because your Kevlar is supposed to be a backer for your plates. So, and then later they realized that didn't offer enough coverage, and they ended up putting a yoke on it, as it's called, which is that piece. Okay, this neck part here, this is the yoke, and it kind of adds another layer of Kevlar underneath the shoulders and does around the sides and the back of the neck. Right, and then on top of that, this little snaps you see there would be for adding a throat protector, so you could get a Kevlar thing that would cover the front of your throat. And then they had big shoulder pads that would hook on. All right, and then they had what's called DAPS protectors, which would fit underneath here. So that way, when you'd raise your arm up too, it was a lot tighter. There's a smaller hole. There's an extra panel of Kevlar that you'd stick your arm through, and it would go down to cover this kind of gap underneath your armpit. And then they added these side plate carriers. They added groin protectors, that big like triangle-shaped groin protectors, and they also had lower back protectors that could hang off. So it was totally scalable based on wherever you could go, and even some extreme later versions had ones that would come down to your forearms, and there was pants that could be connected to this too that you would wear over your uniform. But this came out in the mid-90s to replace the PASGAT. And I'll throw PASGAT up here now. If you haven't seen my PASGAT video, this is the PASGAT. This is a Canadian one, though. All the US ones came in woodland camo pattern. But they were pretty much just like this. They didn't hold plates. They didn't offer the protection that they wanted as well. They wanted a little bit more tighter fitting. And they wanted it to be more scalable. So they went to the OTV, which carries plates because they needed higher threat protection and everything like that. It was more scalable. It was more flexible. It had replaceable panels in it, so you could replace the Kevlar whenever you needed. Now, this is a brand new one. It's really, really hard to find these ones, especially the Marine Corps ones like this, in new condition. There's the thing on it, the outer shell. It's a size medium interceptor base vest outer shell, class 1, has the NSN. It was manufactured by Unicore. They made a lot of helmets and stuff, a lot of PASGATs you'll see have Unicore on them. They make a lot of body armor for the military. It has care instructions. It was made in 2006, as you can see. This particular vest was. Here's the Velcro you can see to put in the back plate on the inside. Here's the one on the front left plate, and here's the one on the front right plate. And it's held together with these kind of nylon straps, finishing tape straps, which is like thin. It's not as thick as moly webbing. Now, the original ones would have had this much webbing on the front, and it would have had, flip it over, it would have had a lot less on the back. As you can see, the whole back is covered in moly webbing. They would have only had little panels like right here on each side of the back, kind of like where your kidneys are. Here's how you put the rear plate in, this big flap up here. It has a routing port too if you wanted to fit hydration down in there or something like that, or just some extra heave vents to drain water or something. It has a carry handle or a drag handle, so when you get shot, who's ever dragging you away has something easy to grab onto that won't come off the vest to drag you along the ground if you get shot. So that was cool. It's also a convenient carrying handle, and this continued on in this replacement. The IOTV used these as well. I'll do a video on my IOTV here later if you guys want. You see the side plate pockets have Kevlar behind them, and then you could fit gigantic sappy plates in here as well. Over that, I don't have plates in this vest right now because plates are expensive, and I have only one set of plates. If you guys happen to have some cheap pairs or anything like that, I'd be more than happy to buy them from you. It doesn't matter if they're expired or anything. These aren't vests that I use. They're more for just museum purposes. So and learning educational purposes. So if you have any plates you want to donate or something like that, some old expired ones even, I'd be more than happy to take them off your hands to put in these vests to make them more rigid so they aren't all floppy like this. So there you can see the yoke. The yoke is moly weaved in there right here at this point, 2 in the back where these 2 vertical channels are. And there's one on this side. I don't have the collar with this. Well, I do have other collars and stuff like that, and a vest with all the parts, but that one's an ACU, and that one is currently being used by somebody else. So I might do a video on that when that one gets returned to me that has all the parts on it. But right now, that one's actually traveling around going to a bunch of different schools to teach people about military body armor and stuff like that. So kind of have to deal with that for now. But this vest overall offered way increased protection over the PASGAT. There's a couple down flaws with this vest, though. For one, the jacket in the front creates a weak spot in the vest, so which is why you see later Army vests all go to the poncho style, which are the ones you have to lift over your head and put on with like the cummerbunds. You'll also see all the military vests later have mesh and stuff in them because these tend to get really hot, and there was nothing keeping these panels away from your skin, so they retained heat way too fast. They also got really dirty and sweaty and gross. These tended to trap a lot of bacteria because they didn't have antimicrobial foam in them like the new vests do. There's a couple different models of the OTV, as I explained, with the different colors. There's a bunch of different manufacturers. There's a bunch of subcontractors on it. These little buckles on the front are for the TAP panel, which stands for Tactical Assault Panel, which is like a bunch of magazines. It's pretty much just a bunch of magazine pouches that are all stitched together that you can throw in with little hooks and clips, and there's where you attach the side parts. Or you can wear it as like a standalone, like an FLC. Which would have been period accurate to the time that this vest was being used, or you could have used it with an FLC2 that you would route through the shoulder straps up there. So this vest ended up being phased out here in 2013 entirely with the U.S. military for poncho style vests. It was used as late as 2013 though, despite in like 2008, 2009 the IOTVs coming out, and the MTVs and IMTVs for the Marine Corps. which stands for, the Army one would be Improved Outer Tactical Vest. The Marine Corps would be Modular Tactical Vest, or Marine Tactical Vest, as you see some people call it, or IMTV, which would be Improved Marine Tactical Vest or Improved Modular Tactical Vest. Certain difference, and they were also placed by Army plate carriers and stuff, which don't have as much coverage as a full-on outer tactical vests like this. They just have the side plates, front plates, and rear plates. They don't really have the Kevlar in them that goes full around you. It's not a full cocoon of Kevlar anymore behind plates. The Kevlar panels are either really cut down or non-existent, and they just carry the hard plates. You see a lot of military vests go to that style now, where they have the less Kevlar, more ceramic, because full-on Kevlar and full ceramic ends up being a lot more weight than you really need on a modern battlefield, and a lot of soldiers are willing to risk less protection for more mobility, which is why if you've ever seen the movie Black Hawk Down, you see the guy, he takes his rear plate out because he doesn't plan on getting shot in the back, and then he ironically ends up getting shot in the back. So that's just something that happened. A lot of soldiers you see are willing to sacrifice protection for mobility, and you'll see a lot of people when you get out there, like on their first tour, they'll be wearing their full body armor all the time and their helmet, and you see people that are on their like 4th or 5th tour, and they're out, repelling counterattacks or engaging in like flip-flops and their t-shirts and stuff like that. They won't have all their body armor on and stuff all the time, because they know you really realistically don't need it unless you're going into a combat zone where you expect heavy fighting. So hopefully you guys like this video, and you subscribe if you like this sort of thing. I'll give you a full once around on the vest again, show it to you here from the back. So here's the other side. We'll go back around to the front. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and you like this sort of stuff. I'll try to do more body armor videos in the future. You guys tend to really like the body armor. The first video I did, which was on the Pazgat, I have quite a few vests from different countries all over the world, and I'm looking to get more. I'm trying to get a piece of body armor to go with almost every helmet I have, which is going to take years, but it's going to happen. So if any of you guys have any vests that would go with any of the helmets you've seen on my channel from those countries, feel free to leave a comment if you'd be interested in selling any of that stuff, or if you just want to donate it to the channel or anything like that. I'd very much appreciate it. So, or even if you just wanted to let me borrow it so I could do a video on it together, that'd be awesome as well. So hopefully you guys like this video. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, feel free to leave a comment with that, and I'll do my best to answer those for you. Please suggest topics for future videos. If I missed anything, please leave a comment as well. I'd like to know about your experiences with this vest, if you ever used one, if you were a troop that, if you were a soldier or Marine or Navy personnel or anyone that used one of these OTVs or IBAs. I'd very much like to hear your stories and your opinions on them. Just for more information, please leave me a comment if you have any experience with these, and I will leave the video here, and hopefully I see you guys in the next video. Bye.